Good afternoon, everyone. This is T-Mac for T-Mac's American Experience. We've got a break in this very, very cold winter that we have, and we have a nice day right now. Temperatures at 42 degrees with winds light and variable, and so we have some kind of foggy conditions going on here. And we got some wet, stormy weather coming up here in a couple days, so I wanted to get out. I did the night hike here not too long ago, but I wanted to go through here. There's just a different set of wildlife that sometimes that you see down here, and then this area is just packed with wildlife, which is why I like coming here. And it's right in my neighborhood here, Center Street access. So if you see anything, hear anything, say something, drop stuff in the comments. Again, this Center Street access, we'll get a little bit of the traffic from the road. Possibly might hear I-90 or Route 20, but not too much in that. In the daytime, noise carries different. And we'll definitely hear trains. It's Conneaut, and this is Conneaut, Ohio, right along the Conneaut Creek, and you're definitely going to hear trains. But we got, all our snow is melting, and so it is kind of wet and soggy out here. And we'll see. We'll see what we can find, because this is a beautiful area. And so we'll start on the road that they used to create, or they created to take out the old dam. And we'll go down that way. We'll be up along the Conneaut Creek, which has got a few open spots now. But other than that, we'll just start checking things out, see what we can see here. Just tons of wildlife in this area. So I am expecting to see a lot. I don't know whether I can carry through on that, but hopefully we'll come across quite a bit of wildlife. So this is wildlife documentation, and with anything else that we can find on anything else here. This is an exploration and hiking adventure. Okay, so come along for the adventure, and let's see how this goes. I don't do a ton of these daytime videos, but sometimes I look at the weather here, and it's like, go out when you can get out. And down here too, the wildlife's so diverse. And I say you get different sets of animals, different times of day, different seasons, all that. So this area in particular, we don't know. We could run into a lot, or we could run into nothing, but usually this place has a lot. So because snow's melting and everything, this is gonna be muddy. Thank God for the mucks. Oh geez, I'm sinking down. Look at that, sinking down over a foot into this muck and mire. This winter season has not been easy to do a lot of hikes. So one of the things I love to do is going out into the woods, is kind of the serenity and peace of this. And right now, a lot going on. Okay, you guys know John Llama Walker, who is one of my best friends and has been going back to our childhood. I've grown up with his family, has been like my family. And John's mother is about to pass. They've moved to end of life care. The battle's over, and there's not much that can be done. They're just going to give her pain medicine and let her pass. And as John and his sister tore up Me too. I was up there to visit too. It's been someone who's been a second mother to me. And by the time this is released, I don't know, she'll probably be released later today. But she's kind of unnoticed to pass. They said it could be a week, could be a day. But either way, this is some of the stuff that we've been going through this winter here. And I say we because, again, I'm like part of the family there with them. Man, this is I'll tell you, I like the ground frozen a little better. That's kind of what we've been going through. It's taken a lot of time this winter. And it sucks. It was a long battle. And this is the end and the conclusion of that battle. So this video is dedicated to John Mama Walker, his mother Suzanne, who is about to pass, who has been just so wonderful to me over the years. And may the Lord carry her to heaven. And we'll see how, anyway, so one of my things I do for peace is I go out into the woods. Get my mind off of some of the things. Just reflect. Always a lot happier after a hike, you know. Even a scary one. Look at, we got some of our deer over here. There they go. Our whitetail deer over there. Probably some of my friends there. I hope they recognize my voice. We'll probably find some more of them over here. Get some better shots of them. Oh, I can see you straight through. Right there. Got a good shot of that doe. Her tail sticking up there. That's their dead giveaway on these whitetail. You usually catch that tail moving. Like I said, tons of wildlife down here. It's one of the reasons I love this place. To see them around here, see that some of the mess that's happened down here with clearing some of the trees and everything really hasn't messed with the wildlife a lot, and I'm glad for that. I don't want that to be an excuse to keep or to further destroy the land, but at least what was done hasn't harmed just the massive amount of wildlife that's happening down here. So. I'm gonna try to look and see through here. I know I got there's a bunch of deer around here. It's just whether you can see them all or not. And this, I'm going to zoom in on this. This is where I put my trail camera a lot. I can't really do that anymore because of some poachers that I had to be shooed away from here. I now can no longer, I can trail cam back there, but I can't release the videos. So I think what I'm going to do is I got to create the members only page. And that way I can release some of that, what I have of the footage here. I can release that a little more securely. That way, if you really want to see it, you'll be able to. I said, I know if I went like trying to traipse or, you know, bulldoze through these woods, which I definitely am not going to do right now. I'll get covered in burrs. But it would, stir up a lot of these deer. Like this, we're seeing kind of too what kind of birds are out. There's our flagpole in the woods, venting the natural gas just into the open air. So don't light a match around here. Especially on a day like this where there's next to no wind. I said I think the current wind speed was like 1.7 miles an hour, something like that. And they said it's supposed to stay under 5 miles an hour for the day. And temperatures are supposed to get near 50. So throughout the day here, some more of this is going to get melted away. And so we're mid-February, but we're getting a touch of spring, which is kind of nice. Now again, there's a chance that we may catch some of the stuff up here. But more than likely, that's where you can see the creek. Definitely wouldn't want to go on the ice now. I did break through. More what I want to focus the deer, kind of hang out in here on this side more. Every now and then I catch them up here. That almost looks like, and I want to get up close, our little birdhouse here. I'm going to try to zoom in on that. Okay, 1 second here, because I swore I seen something peeking out through there. I don't see it now. It moved when I looked at it, so there's something hiding in there. I don't want to go up closer to it. I don't want to have whatever it is feel like it's cornered and needs to attack. Yeah, this is even though it's much nicer weather, the footing condition is very, very rough. And this is very concerning. I'm not sure why we have a reddish color on the top here, but that doesn't look natural. And for this being a nature preserve, I'm very concerned. What the heck's going on there? So, we'll get up here closer and get some shots of what the creek looks like. Let me say there's some of the ice. The ice is breaking up on the water there. Boy, we had such a cold spell though. Wow, like some of these trees that are falling off up here. Gotta get over here and check out some shots of this. Because we gotta follow this here and document, because what they said, the reason they needed to remove that dam was the unnatural erosion occurring. And you can definitely see that there's erosion occurring. It's how unnatural it is that's kind of what we get to see, because we'll keep documenting this place. And you see, like, we have this again. This was like this before the dam was taken down. So we got to see if we continue to get these trees falling in, and see if the banks keep eroding in a similar fashion with the dam down, because that's their justification for tearing up these woods. So all of this, though, I've already documented, but again, is this natural or unnatural? That's the big thing. And now that the dam's down, we gotta keep an eye on this, because, you know, this is definitely some erosion here. I think what I need to do, I got my thermal camera with me, and it usually has a little trouble in the daytime. It's definitely harder to see that screen. Oh yeah, it's very hard to see that screen. But I'm going to turn it on anyway. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, just the glare from the... I mean, it's cloudy here. But just the glare from what sunlight there is makes it darn near impossible to see the thermal camera. There's really a beautiful shot. And I'm snapping some pictures of that. Okay. Just heard something moving up in the tree. This is a good time. Bald eagles still been around here quite a bit, and I've been seeing them. So they're looking a lot more for food right now. I've been seeing them heading inland away from the lake quite a bit, and there's a lot of them along the Conneaut Creek to begin with. So. Never know, we may run across one of those. I can tell you, we won't run across any bald eagles at night. But the daytime, there's the chance of catching them. At least, don't know if we will. And when I walk back, I'll go on the road a little further into the woods there. But some of this, I gotta check this side too. I'm in the process of getting some permission to get into some of these other areas along the creek on private property. And I have a property owner that is going to allow me, they're drawing up their permission slip. And because they're gonna let me hike, but they don't want any liability if something happens to me. I totally understand that. And just kind of some of the rules of like what I'm allowed to show on their property, what I'm not allowed to show. And there's some people that they'll allow me to video on there, but like they don't want where their property is, they don't want it to be released or whatever, so I gotta go over some of the details and see if maybe we can hopefully we come to a good agreement here. But I don't mind if a property owner wants to have something to protect them, like say I fall or whatever. I'd already tell them, look, I'm not looking for a payday from you guys, but to try to sue anybody, especially who lets me video on their land, but I have full coverage insurance already. But I understand somebody wanting to make sure that they can't get in trouble for it. Now this, I'm going to show this here. This is cool. Right here, these are turkey prints. Wild turkeys. We got right over here. They usually travel in flocks too. Not really. I almost stepped on a turkey out in the woods, unfortunately, and I thought, like, because they get mean. They're real mean, especially to people. So, But it's interesting to see their tracks. I know these tracks were not, these are very fresh. These were not out here during my night hike. I would have noticed these, but I see them all over here, and that's a good sign, especially because I have seen fisher cats in this area. Fisher cats love wild turkey. So, oh boy, goblets all over here. So it'd be kind of cool to see them, but I also, let me say, you get a flock of them, get a male in there, and they will definitely go after a person. I see a squirrel running up ahead there. So we're back to the opening here. And I have permission from the next property over, because this is coming up to the end of the nature preserve. Next property over is one of my neighbors that I've talked to, and he said you can walk back there anytime. But kind of do that more of when I see the need to be able to, if I want to, if I see something of interest, and I'll do that. Look at this, is a very heavily used game trail right here. And there's more of our turkey coming in here. They've been all over around here, and I see some squirrels and chipmunks and stuff running on the floor. So yeah, these turkey have been all over here. And like I said, it would be kind of cool to catch them from a distance, but I hope I don't come across a flock of them, because they are pretty mean. And usually I have my hearing protection on the top of my head that I can slide down over my ears real quick, you know, in the case of needing to have a fire. But I don't today. But so not only for my hearing's sake, but I not want to have to say it gangster there, bust a cap into a turkey. But also for the video's sake, because I'm sure I would probably have to edit that out. So we're gonna, real quick, because this pathway does extend back here, but we're gonna try to get just a view of what we got going on in the creek over here. Still a lot of it frozen. You can see some open spots. Okay. putting some trail cameras down here in the valley, like not on the ridge, not on the private property. But I'm very concerned with, like I say, the public land. If I get trail cameras out here, that they could be taken. Somebody can steal them and be gone with them before I can get to them. We are approaching the official end of the hunting season. Once we've gotten through that, like we get through, it's end of February. I think February 25th is the end. There's some various other things that are hunted with after that, but the majority them are done because deer hunting season's over. There's some areas as we get into March that I've had to leave alone because of hunting season that I'm anxious to get back into and check out. I can hear some Canadian geese in the background. My thermal camera, I gotta just turn that off. It's unfortunately I can't see anything on it. I'm gonna go back this way into the woods here a little further. I may be able to definitely get some cameras put back here in a couple places. So I do like to keep you guys up on some of the news, especially like here in Ohio, pertaining to wildlife. And in the State House right now is a bill to do the feasibility test and of the state of Ohio reintroducing elk. Long ago, there used to be not only a lot of white-tailed deer, but there was a lot of elk around here, which is like kind of like a white-tailed deer on steroids. They got one heck of a loud bugle, the males, especially during mating season, that if you don't know what it is, will definitely stop you in your tracks. And again, they're a lot bigger than deer, and so they're more dangerous than deer. But it's interesting. So if the bill passes, then that's going to allocate the money for them to do the study. And if it's anything like the states around us, which Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Michigan, all that border Ohio, have done this and have growing and sustainable elk populations. Now, here in Ashtabula County, we have near, I believe it's in Jefferson Township, a pretty large elk farm already. You can actually go see them up close, but they are fenced in. But I imagine if this bill passes, we said they'll start with some of the ones in southern Ohio, but they're going to probably look at some spots for Ashtabula County as well for placement. And I'm curious to know your thoughts on that. What do you think of them reintroducing what would then be the largest animal in the wild animal in the state, outside of farm animals? Is literally the only thing that would be larger than an elk in the state, even farm animal wise, is cows and horses. So, but once they got a good population up, then there would definitely be an elk hunting season as well. It'll take a little while, but if, like the states around us, have been very successful with it. I'm not really opposed to it. I'm glad I seen the stuff where I know, instead of just eventually a couple of years from now just running into them. Because most of the time when we start talking about what the government's doing, they're going to put the study out. I'd wager to say they probably started in some fashion. Whether they're lining up private people who have the elk farms or what. Because it does look like the bill will pass. Some of the things I'd see as a drawback on that is because at first they're going to be a protected endangered species, meaning land that they're on, the state can dictate rules with them, that land, even if it's private, because there's an endangered species on it. So I could see some problems with private land ownership issues, but they used to be native here. They were killed off in the 1800s. I actually posted the video of this, about this, on my Facebook page that someone did pertaining to the law, or what the study is. So it's on my Facebook, the Facebook group channel. And again, it's interesting. I'm on the fence. I can see some good things happening with it. I can see some bad things happening with it. So I would like to know what you guys think about that. Do hear some crows off in the distance. I don't think they're cawing at me. I've had that happen before where the crows follow me on the hike. And it sucks because then I'll see no wildlife because they literally walk through there. As I'm walking through the woods, they're yelling to everyone in the forest that I'm in here. I'm hearing a lot of the different birds chirping. That is a cardinal that is singing its song. And I hear some other ones in there too. That's a blue jay going off. I know some of the sounds. I don't know every bird sound, but I do try to study them. Here's another very well used game trail, and yep, you got some deer crap on the trail, the path there. But heading that way to the water and going this way into the woods, very, very heavily used. This will work out on your feet with the soggy ground like this and the snow. It's kind of like being on the beach, doing your running on the beach. Like it definitely works some different leg muscles and feet muscles. Look at this, the ice formations on the side. I hear a woodpecker. I'll show some of this. All over there, there's just tons and tons of those ice formations on the cliffs. which is kind of cool to see as well. Yeah, this is definitely making some of my leg muscles work different than a normal hike, or fair weather hike, I should say. This is one of the areas I like to try to look for. I know there's, oh, yeah, there is. There's one watching me dead ahead here. Look at this guy, gal, spying on me there. Huh. I had to look for that. I did not notice it standing perfectly still. So they're just keeping an eye on me. Probably recognize my voice. And I'm wondering, do I have food? And I see, oh, there we go. I do see another one back there with that one. Okay, so we got this one right here. And then, where are you at? Right there. There's another one. That looks like a doe as well. Oh, there's another one. There's something else moving back there, I think is another deer. Yeah. What is that? The deer's watching it, and there's something else moving back there, and I can't see what that is. And I would not be able to see it without the camera zoom in. Yeah, there's something else there behind it that has that deer's attention. I'm trying to check with my eyes. I can't really tell. I'm trying to maybe move to a different angle here and see if I can check them out. I have the one watching me over here still. But I'm going to try and adjust my position. We got a better view. And got a goose flying overhead. Yeah, there we go. There's a little bit better view. There's our two gals. I'm trying to see if I can find what else is moving back there. Okay. I don't want to bother them too much. It's just kind of cool that I catch them then. They camoed in good. I had to look, and I ended up catching that. They camo good, but they got that white tail that gives them away, and they like to flicker that. And that's what I end up catching. That is a woodpecker sounding off there. So, So there very well could be some more of them deer hiding right over here. I would bet that there are, but they camo good, and unless you catch them moving. If I was able to see on that thermal camera, that picks them out when they're hiding like that. But between the sunlight and the glare off my glasses, I cannot see anything through that thermal right now. So. And it's really good when you get up onto the cliffs up there. You will look down on the valley there, and you'll spot a lot of the wildlife a lot easier. You've got that overhead view. Well, like I said, thanks to some Amish, I can't really post that view anymore. Not that Amish people are watching that, but because I know they aren't. But they do have people who drive them around. They'll check videos like this and tell them places to. Amish really don't give a crap about the laws that, well, there's no hunting here, and on like the private property over there's no hunting. You know, Amish don't give a crap about that. Look at this. I gotta show you this. This is a blue jay feather, which is kind of cool. You can see that good. Blue jay feather. Call that a prize for the hike. Hang on to that. I didn't see that. This looks very fresh. It's dry, even though it's sitting on the ground there. I didn't see that coming in. Oh, I'm wondering here, because there's another blue jay feather. And another one. I'm wondering if a blue jay had a bad day here. So they got, and there's another feather over here. You usually don't see feathers like that out unless something was attacking the blue jay. Which sounds like that must have happened, because I'm seeing little puffballs here, but I don't see like the blue jay body here. But we do got the evidence that something picked off a blue jay. It could have been another aerial, like bird of prey, like a hawk or a falcon. In which case you won't find any of the remains because it carries it away. Some owls would definitely do that too, but they're usually not. Owls usually aren't awake at this time. So, yeah, that definitely looks like that blue jay had a bad day. Jeez, this is a bog. You know, what's funny is that must have happened after I passed through. The first time, because I did not. I think I would have seen, I was looking at all the tracks on the ground. I think I'd have seen the feathers sticking out there. And like I said, they're dry. This is very fresh. So, some poor blue jay had a bad day. Huh. Not sure what I'll do with the feather, but I figure I might as well carry out a souvenir. Always interesting, and say always a lot of wildlife back here. Oh, geez. That one, I sunk down past my ankle into the mud. Like I said, this is still just a rough hike. That's what, in some ways, kind of missed that dry season that we had of fall and in the late summer and into the fall. But if you're waiting on weather to cooperate with you here in Northeast Ohio, well, then most of the time what you're going to be doing is waiting. So you just kind of got to go through it. Alrighty. Nice little adventure here. Always some interesting wildlife in this area. Daytime, some different characters out. And our usual suspects there, those white-tailed deer, are out too. So let me know what you think. Drop stuff in the comments. This is T-Mac for T-Mac's American Experiencing. God bless you. Look forward to the next adventure. This video will be out here today, Tuesday. And then we'll have one out on Friday. Will be a nighttime one. So be looking forward to some good adventures here. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. And please drop stuff in the comments and let me know. Take a good look at this because there's probably more stuff in there that I missed. All right, thank you for watching.